Okay. Hopefully everybody will come back. We'll see if anybody comes back. Hello, hello. This is take two. Oh, yay. Thank you, Kim. Coming back. Hi again. Thank you for coming back. Hi, Nika. Okay, Caroline. Um, and yes, hello, Joe Beth. Lovely to see you. And yeah, so as you can see, I'm just a total screw up in the last couple days. Actually, in my YouTube has changed over to the beta system, or has has changed a lot of stuff, and stuff isn't where it used to be. So it is, oh, good. So that is much clearer. Um, yeah, it helps if I'm using the right microphone. Otherwise, you're right. You can't hear a thing, and all you can hear is that fan whir around. And at any rate, so welcome, welcome, and thank you to for coming to an impromptu live stream. Let me see if I can't get the camera up just a tad higher. And I wanted to show you some happy mail. Amazon came knocking at my door today, and there was a lovely, lovely gift. And I wanted to share it all with you and show you what it is. And hopefully we're going to swatch it and see what it does as well. So, and I'm looking for my swatch book. And there it is. Okay. Because that is going to be important. Oh, little catch up. Okay, new drawing is coming along. It's been sort of slow in coming. I apologize for that. I still want to color this today, maybe, but I did want to also show you, uh, if you've been following along on the Color Palette Challenge Color Along, um, I wanted to show you how all those gems turned out, because I just had done like 3 of them with the slight orange edition or gold edition. And so, ooh, didn't they turn out pretty? I'm really thrilled with the way that that is coming along. There'll be a new installment on that filmed sometime tonight, which hopefully will go up sometime tomorrow. And I am still planning on my Sunday stream. So, hello, Gillies. Welcome. I don't think that I've seen you before. Welcome, welcome. And if you have been here before and I didn't notice, then my apologies. Okay. What could these be for? I do not have the consent of the person who sent this to say her name out loud, so I will just simply say, R, thank you. Thank you so very, very much. These are, ooh, wait for it, these are the Arteza metallic gouache colors. And ooh, 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 ooh. As you know, uh, I love the Arteza gouache. And I have the 24 set of the regular colors. And I did I think I swatched those, and they are so beautiful. Um, where are they? That's the Pretty Excellence. That's the Royal and Langnick. Here are the Arteza gouache. And what makes gouache different from regular watercolor is that it's slightly opaque. Well, hi, Melinda. Okay. Um, okay. Well, in that case, thank you for sharing your lunch hour with me. Um, and well, hi, Pat, again. And hi to anybody who is here that I have not said hi to yet. So gouache, the thing that makes gouache different than watercolor is that it is slightly opaque, and its opacity is really a matter of what colors you are using and how thickly you are using them. So these are standard 24 colors. And these, which they did not have at the time that I got those 24, which, by the way, were also a gift, are the metallics. Now, I started to see these a lot in acrylic pour videos, and I love the fact that they come in tubes. I love my gouache that comes in, anything that comes in tubes. But these are metallic, and so I wanted to swatch these and see what they're like. What do you think? Should we swatch them? Would you be interested in seeing that, or do you want me to swatch them off screen and show you what they do, just like I do the others? And would you rather I simply color on this? This is Tatiana Bogema Stalova's wonderful drawing from her book, Vintage Classics 2. And this was to be the subject of my August 25th, Sunday's guest artist spot. But I couldn't get on through my own, I could not get on live because I had a mistake in my description that I didn't find until after the fact. So let's see what they look. I'm so glad you said that, Pat. And oh, good, because I really do want to swatch these. And let's see if I can get the plastic off. Oh, that's so cool. And thank you so very, very much. These are from a lovely lady who has sent 3 things, which is just far too generous. She sent the Stephen Barnwell book, which I absolutely love. And then they're all on a sparkle theme, because the Stephen Barnwell is it's like the stars and the moons theme. Then these gorgeous Julescent dry mica pearl powders. These are to make sparkle paints, sparkle watercolors, which I'll be doing a video on making those again. And operator error KS. That's exactly what it was. It was user error, absolutely. And I was trying to blame YouTube, but YouTube was saying, no, sorry, not us. Although they could do a better job in, at least, when you have a live failure, it should tell you why. It should tell you why. Like, idiot, there's a symbol in your description. Get it out of there and we'll let you go live. It's a good thing that I am not the one in charge of making error messages. Because mine would say user error. Sorry. So that is what these are for. These are little palettes. I do have great big giant palettes, but I have very little room on my desk today, so I thought that I would go ahead and do the little palettes. Make sure they're sort of dust free. These, by the way, are, I buy coffee. I buy the Walmart brand of coffee. And I buy it for a couple reasons. One, it is one of the few that actually comes in a recyclable can. It's actually a metal can. All the other ones seem to come in plastic. I love Maxwell House coffee, but it only comes in plastic, and I just think that there's too darn much plastic in the world. So I buy the metal ones, and then I use the cans for containers to grow vegetables in that I keep outside on my patio, because I am a big recycler. So, all right. So let's put some paint out on our palette. And you can't actually shake these. So, whoops. Well, that is slightly more than you need for a swatch. But that's okay. We'll do interesting swatches. See if I can be better. That's the silver. And this is the pearl eucalyptus. Ooh, that sounds like a promising color. Like that. Now, of course, all the little tubes, they don't have things that you have to puncture or anything like that. You just open them up and there's your color. And you don't need very much paint to do, like, for instance, you could start to do an entire picture with just this much out of each of the tubes. But, and I'm trying to watch, yeah, well, they would be kind, but they would be realistic. They're, because especially, and they'd be geared, like the first time that you made the mistake, they'd be really super nice. Like, oh, we apologize, you didn't know, and you might here is what, always check your text for symbols and and things that you're not allowed to use. And then like the third or the fourth time that you make the same mistake, they would get a little sterner, like, user error. We've told you about this 5 times and you just don't seem to get it. What is there? What is there about it that you don't understand? Are we not being clear? Get those symbols out of your descriptions. Patience is a learned skill, and I just never really learned it. I am really forgiving of honest errors, but errors the 4th or 5th time, I do start to get a little twitchy, and I'm even more twitchy with myself. You know how we're all our own worst critics. Yeah, me. Okay, this one is, I should tell you what okay, this is actually the silver here. These are so cool. And they look very promising here as they're coming out of the tube. And this is something I don't have anything like. I don't have any metallic watercolors other than the pearls that I've made. And those are very shiny and metallic. But, oops, try not to throw the caps around, especially if you have a black rug under you, because it makes them very hard to find. Okay, so that's it. 12 colors and a swatch book. Hi, Louise. How wonderful to see you. Okay, now they will get their own page. Now, I have one of these sort of nifty square template things that I really like. And so what I will do is use this to just very quickly make some nice spaces. I'm just, sorry, leaving a little bit of room around them to be able to write up and down, but not very much because I'm just going to write the colors. And I know that Nanimo likes my swatch book, and so this is how I do it. Well, thank you, Louise. Thank you very much. Once again, I did check. Grace is on the schedule. I did check. I did not see her come on. I did wait about 15 minutes to see if she would, and she did not. So I went ahead and jumped on. And so everybody knows I'm not intentionally streaming over Grace. Lord knows what they'll accuse me of next, but that isn't it. And okay, so that should be 12. And now I'm going to just take and very quickly write down the colors. So we've got Pearl White Rose, and Pearl Noir, and Pearl Eucalyptus. We'll just call it PEUCALYPTUS. I had to look that one up. Hello. And let's see here. And Pearl Emerald Green. Ooh. And Pearl Aqua Blue. Okay, I'm gonna start leaving Pearl off because I mean it's sort of redundant at this point. Purple Iris. And Scarlet. And bubblegum. And orange. And bronze. And silver. And I'm going to guess this one is gold. So these are the Arteza, A-R-T-E-Z-A, metallic gouache. Okay. And to the best of my knowledge, they only come in the 12 colors. So let's give this a shot. Oops. Since they are a nice Arteza product, and I believe in showing up artists or art projects or art supplies. Hello. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. These were a gift from a lovely, lovely subscriber. That is not the brush I want. I want that kind of a brush, but I want the smaller one. There we go. So I just have a little feather brush. And I have way too much stuff stacked out in front of me. I either need to move the camera closer to me, which is hard to do, or I need to get some of this stuff away from back here. Let me grab it. Put those up there. See, and this is how my glasses got lost, which, by the way, I've never found them. My glasses get lost because I pick stuff up and then I put it away or put it somewhere else, and then I don't know where I put it. Okay, so trying to get as much stuff. Oh, hello. So I always like to work with a wet brush, even if the medium that I'm working with isn't necessarily. Now, I should say that the gouache should be wet. It is, I mean, it is at its heart watercolor paint. but as opposed to, I don't believe it's acrylic. It's, it's definitely gouache. Oh, I think I'm going to be liking this. I'm actually going to go over the edges of the boxes because that way it will help to show the opacity of the paint. Oh, that's pretty opaque. And it's also really, really shiny. Look at that. Ooh. Okay, clean the brush. Okay, and going for the, now this is the Pearl Noir. So this is like a gray pearl or a black pearl. And it's much smoother if you do mix it with a little water. You don't want to use this straight out of the tube like I just did. You actually do want to mix a little bit of water in. And there's another one that is just gorgeous. I think as that dries, it'll look a little more pearly. Hi, Libby, and everybody that's here. Okay, now let's clean the brush again. Just got my little water jar here and my paper towel over here. So now I'm going to mix a little water, with my eucalyptus. This is the Pearl Eucalyptus. So this is slightly green. Boy, it's really opaque too. Look at how it doesn't completely obliterate the black lines, but it does. So can you imagine using this for backgrounds and things like that? And look, that's, I realize that light makes that almost impossible to see. Oh, there you go. There you go. Those are looking good. The Pearl Noir is more dull, but it's still, a white, you could either put a layer of a lighter pearl on top of it, like a white pearl. I am loving it. Okay, now for what is this one? This one is the Pearl Emerald Green. And what I'm doing is I'm just sort of trying to mix that water in. I had pretty well loaded the brush with water. Ooh, that is a pretty green. I'm not sure I'd call it emerald, but it's a really lovely mint green. Oh, that is so beautiful. And the how it shines matters to how you stroke the, because it's obviously it's got the ingredient that makes it shiny is going to be mica powder of some kind. And what I am wondering is if you can also achieve a pearlescent if you mix the regular gouache with either Pearl X or the pearl powders that I showed you earlier that I just had in my hand that I put down somewhere. See, this is how stuff. Oh, there it is. If it was a snake, it would jump out and bite me. If you mixed pearl powder with regular gouache or regular acrylic paint, if you could get it to pearl like this, that would be kind of cool. And yes, that's what I Louise, is that these would be great. And scales and all that kind of good stuff, and have them be shiny and shimmery. Okay, now let's go with the blue. I want you to be able to see both things. I got to pay attention to. Pay attention, Christine. Pay attention to where you are on the screen. Okay, so this is the pearl aqua blue. Ah, look at that gorgeous color. Ooh, 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 ooh. That is a really beautiful marine blue. And boy, this stuff has great coverage. Great coverage. And look, it's, I mean, not streaky. It's solid and beautiful and shimmery. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you, R. Thank you, RR. I'm going to give that away. RR, that is so wonderful. Ooh, and look, it makes these pretty swirly clouds in the water. Look at that. I love it. Of course, it doesn't take very much to entertain me. Ooh, shiny object. Oh. If anybody sees Grace pop on, let me know so that I know she sometimes cannot always stream. So okay. And oh, this is so fun. See, I missed everyone. That's what it was. I've been sort of jonesing for all of you. And ever since last week. But this is the first time that I've sort of found that nice little hole in the schedule when it met available time. Love it. Love this gorgeous purple. This is a nice lavender purple. Very, it's not dusky, and it's not super light. It's more like like a lilac purple. You know, when lilacs are in bloom. But it is very pretty. Ooh, and more rainbows to watch. It would be cool if it all kept its color, wouldn't it? And then you could watch all of the different strings of color. This paint does embed itself in the bristles of your brush. So starting with some clean water. And okay. So I wrote down some things just in case I got boring to talk about. I was over at Sandy's channel watching a couple of videos. Sandy's Color Creatively, and she unmasked a diamond painting, which of course I have been thinking about, and I actually, on her recommendation, I actually got as far as going over to look at them, and I decided I do not have time. I do not have time. Oh no, no, wrong jar, wrong jar, wrong jar. I do not have time to do diamond painting. Can you imagine? I would get so lost in that because it's just sort of one of those mindless things that you can do that I would it'd be right up my alley, but no diamond painting. I'd never do anything else. Okay. Um, Between coloring and diamond painting, I'd never draw again. And you all don't want that, do you? Oh, good, Melinda. In that case, I've done my job, and Arteza will be happy. Uh, um, this is so lovely. I love this light pink too. Um, this is the bubble gum. Whoops, got a little over enthusiastic with how much paint got on that brush. I imagine that you also, if you were going for sort of a solid background, you could layer these up and get a higher intensity of color. Okay, and boy, that light really is catching that pearl, isn't it? But that is another pretty one. See, now as they're drying, they're not like super shiny. They're more like glowy, you know, not glittery, but glowy. Uh, oh, look at the cloud. I can't turn it so that you can see it. You can only see this top portion, but this water is so pretty. Ooh, swirly clouds. I think I must be losing my mind somewhere along the line. Surely I am. Yeah, a little goes a very, very long way. That is absolutely true. And that is true of any kind of watercolor paints. This is why I used to always think, oh, well, watercolor paints, there's hardly anything there. You'd end up having to replace them every couple of months, blah, blah, blah. And of course, we all know that that's not true. Anybody that's ever used watercolors knows that they go forever, just like ink tints. I always say ink tints are worth the investment because you never have to buy them again. One set is going to last you for the rest of your life, even if they're the only things you use. And the same thing is true of neocolors. Ooh, yeah, I'm liking this. And I'm even sort of two-coating it. So, look at those just gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Mm. And this is gouache. actually gouache, not acrylic paint, but gouache, which is opaque watercolor. Water activated. Okay, now this is the bronze. Coming up next. Look at how gorgeous. Oh, oh, yes, please. Oh, my. Oh, my, yes. I love these. Love, love, love these. Backgrounds. Oh, there's going to be some pearl backgrounds in my future. Can you tell I'm having a good time? I hope you're having a good time too. Even if you are working, hopefully it is a Friday, which means that you are off on the weekend. And if not, then if you have to work on the weekend, I'm sorry, but hopefully you're going to be off on Monday or Tuesday. And these are so gorgeous. So this is the silver. See how I'm balancing the edge of my book up on the edge of the Arteza box. So hopefully that's cut the glare just a bit. And you can see, oh, those just, I mean, it's just beautiful. Beautiful coverage, beautiful colors, really beautiful colors. Hello, Deb. What are we swatching? We are swatching, hang on, there we go. Oh, we are swatching the Arteza 12 color premium metallic gouache colors. And there are the colors on the back. And these are what we are, this is what we're doing right here. And they come in the tubes, just like the Artezas and the regular Arteza gouache. And look at how pretty they make the water. Oh, I love it. You can just sort of stir it around and watch the clouds develop. And I mean, that is just cool, huh? Never mind. I just, um, like I say, shiny, shiny. I love shiny things. Show me a shiny object and I'll follow it anywhere. And there's the gold, which is just beautiful. What you would expect from gold. And it's a nice Aztec type gold. Actually, it needs a little bit of water. I think I let it sit there a little too long while we were working our way through the other stuff. But because it is gouache, you can reactivate it with water. So that is something to think about. If you are going to be using a metallic gouache on a background, say, or something like that, remember that it will reactivate with water. So be careful if you're going to use it around anything else that is water-based in your work. And act accordingly. Okay, now let's see if these colors will mix at all. So, although why you would want to, I'm not really sure. But let's find out. And so let's mix the pink and the orange. Aha. Okay, so where's the orange? Down here? Yes. So let's mix the pink and the orange. Because I use a lot of pink and orange colors, basically a salmon color. It is one of my favorite colors to work with. It's not one I can wear, but it is. So that is the in-between shade of, oh wait, no, I used scarlet and orange, and this is what it makes. So they do mix. They blend together beautifully. So that's an interesting question answered. Oh, ooh. Now, that looks a whole lot more orange on my screen that I'm looking at than it actually does there. Wait, there we go. So that is this one is the true orange. This one is the scarlet, which is what I used. So I mixed these two colors and it gave me this. And you are off work on Fridays, but got housework to do. Looking forward to the holiday weekend. Is it the holiday weekend? Is it Labor Day weekend? Or yeah, it's not. Wait, what? What weekend is it? Is it Labor Day? I can never remember if Labor Day is the one where kids officially went back to school or not. Now that I don't, hang on. Let me check my trusty calendar. It is the Labor Day weekend. It's a long weekend. Oh boy. And yay. Monday is Labor Day. Yeah, but that just means it's a long weekend. So do you get 4 days, Deb? Uh, or 4 days, Pat? So you're off on Fridays, or do you also have to work on weekends? Pretty clouds, swirling clouds in the water. Could keep somebody entertained for hours that way. Okay. So let's. Okay. What are some other colors? Let's see if we mix the blue and the green. What'll happen? Whoops. So we'll bring this up here and mix the. Oh well, actually, you know what? Let's mix the purple and the blue. And see what we get. I think we'll just get a purplier shade of blue, actually. But we'll put it up there anyway, and we'll find, oh, look, that's a different shade. Like that. See, this is why I think the 12 set is one of the best things, even if it comes in bigger sets. The 12 set will get you where you need to go every single time. In any set of pens or pencils or whatever, if it'll mix together, you can have as many colors as you want. So that is even more of a marine blue than this one. And let's mix the... Now, if I am right, which I think I might be, if we mix the red, now we've got the reddish orange with that blue, it should give us a brown. Because orange and turquoise let's add a little green in there. Orange and turquoise technically make a brown, but that I think all I did was make as a, I think all I did with that is make a darker gray. Now, of course, I'm never going to be able to remember what I used. But that made a darker, it's very much akin to the black noir, but it's a little more neutral. Where this is a warm gray, this one is a cooler gray. So you call it a bank holiday. Okay. Yeah, now that was last weekend. Isn't that right, Louise? Nice long weekend and you won't be worth a flip on Tuesday. Yeah, that's the way it always was with me too. It's like, oh, I don't want to go back to work. I want to stay off. Okay, now let me mix the pearl with, I'm going to mix the pearl white rose with some of the gold over here. Oops. To see if I can't get an even lighter shade of gold. I love mixing colors together. Can you tell? To me, it's just, it's playing. And, you know, whoops, eek. And I do love to play with I love to play with my tools here. Swatching is playing to me. After you see what the colors are and what they'll do. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. This is really absorbent paper too, so. And yeah, moonlight, there you go. I like it. It's not that much different than the pearl white. It's just slightly more yellow with a little addition of that gold in there. Okay. Well, in that case, perhaps okay. What do you think? I think that these are very, very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you so very much, R. These are these are these are just too cool for school. Now I have to find just the perfect thing to color, and to be able to use the metallic gouaches on. Um, this is this is how they come. They come in little 2-ounce tubes, or actually it's so it's 12 milliliters, which is 0.4 U.S. fluid ounces. So the Arteza gouache premium metallic gouache colors. And I will put a link in below for these for those who watch it in the future. I do not have one, but I could probably get one. But I'll put one in later. So yeah, those are very, very cool. I'm loving those. And these are the colors. So just a quick review. There's Pearl White Rose, Pearl Noir, which is black pearl, Pearl Eucalyptus. These are blends that I made, so these actually have no names. This one is Emerald Green, Aqua Blue, Pearl Iris, or Purple Iris, Scarlet, Bubblegum, Orange, Bronze, Silver, and Gold. And that is the 12 set. And okay. So I've been on about an hour, and that was a lot of fun. that was just a lot of fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me grab this, not this, not that, not that, this, and at least make a start on it. I've been trying to decide. I want to color it. I want to color it with Inktense, but I saw the coolest version of this. I could only find one when I searched, and it was done by Jaki, Jaki. If you're on Facebook, and I think even on Instagram, you know who Jaki is. She's a tremendous colorist. I even know her actual name, but I don't remember it. She doesn't color a lot anymore, but she did this, and I want to do it like she did. And in order to do that, I have to use something different than Inktense. So, isn't this pretty? This is, Deb, this is in Tatiana Bogema Stalova's second Vintage Classics book. She's Vintage Classics 1, 2, and I've heard that she's going to be coming out with 3. But they are her drawings from past, art things that before she started drawing the nice little house books and the nice little dragon books and all of that. And so she's got 2 books, at least 2 that I know of, called Vintage Classics, Volumes 1 and 2. And this is from Volume 2. They are available in her Etsy shop. And those are, if you just type in Tatiana Bogema, you'll find her Etsy shop. But she's got her PDFs, her book PDFs are so reasonably priced. And and I heard somewhere that 3 was out too, but I didn't see it when I went to look in her shop. but this is from 2. And the version that I saw that Jackie did, she did it all in just a couple of colors. She did the entire dragon bird, in like this steel blue and like a lemony yellow, and the whole thing, and it was just so good. And then she did the flower in pink, and but it's the colors in Inktense just don't lend themselves to it, and so I've been holding off doing this until I can either figure out a way to do it with the Inktense, or until I decide to use a different medium. The other medium that I want to use is markers. And does anybody have any objection at all if I go at it with alcohol markers? Because I can color it with alcohol markers. And the other way to color it, of course, is with pencils, but pencils just takes so long. And I love it, and I really want to do it some justice. So anyway, sorry, I have an itch that I'm head scratching. Oh, okay. Now here's another thing. Of course, not only do plastic lids off of anything make great little palettes, but don't throw it away, because that paint will still react next time you want to use it. So, plus, they clean up really easily if you decided that you wanted to change paint colors, or do something like that. You just run it under a little running water and it all washes away. So, and you can use any kind. This is off a Maxwell House. This is off the tin can. And they work great. Alcohol markers will be lovely. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Well, in that case then, I would very much like to go at this particular drawing with markers. Mostly because I think that I could do it justice with markers. I can do it justice with pencils, but I can't do it justice with the Inktense, not with the look I want to get. So these are, of course, my swatches for my alcohol markers. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a really, really pale color. And that is this dim green, which you're going to go, oh, that's ugly, Christine. But it's really not. It'll give me what I need to get started with, which is Y000. There it is. Which is a starting point. And I love these markers. I have Melinda to thank for the fact that I have a set of CaliArt markers, and I absolutely love them. Just trying to get centered here. So I am just going to start out by putting an entire layer of this pretty base color down on it. And I'm using the chisel tip because it covers a nice wide bit of space. And the reason why I'm putting this layer down is so that I have a layer of light under everything else. Then I can use this as the highlight color by just simply not coloring over it. So what has everybody got planned for the long weekend? I'm going to be doing exactly what you see me doing now, which is basically coloring, drawing, and thinking up what to color and draw next. Because for the self-employed, there's no such thing as a holiday weekend. I know it's the last big blowout of the summer. And first thing Tuesday morning, it's all back to getting ready for Christmas. Yes, I said that out loud. Smashbook or practice collaging. Okay. Smashbook. Is that like um, that's not like slap and what is it that they call? I always want to call it slap and tickle, but that's not what it is. The thing. Uh, oh, good. Okay, a classic car show. That sounds good. I love classic cars. I would go to something like that. Absolutely. What is and Melinda? You probably know this, or maybe whoever. Yeah, Dee Dee, and it's where you take the ink and you put it on the surface, and then you take your book and you smack and dragon. That's it. Smack and dragon. I think is what it's called. And Janet can't do it. Janet does smack and tap. She always forgets the dragon part. I don't know if anybody watches Jeff. Oh. Speaking of channels, other channels. All right, I have a new acrylic pour channel for you guys. Her name is Sarah Mack, Sarah, and last name Mack, Mack. It's two words, and she is very talented. But the picture that got me was the one that I talked about, I think, in the last video that I did. She did this one it's on a Payne's gray background, and it looks like an orchid. And then I watched a video that she did just the other day, and it's equally as good. She did it with uh, on a black background, and then she used just blues and whites. Oh, and it turned out so, and maybe a little gold. It was so beautiful. So if you like watching that kind of thing, once again, well produced, fairly short videos, full of a lot of good entertainment, as far as I'm concerned. So I haven't lost my mind. I am actually doing this. I'm just throwing down a base coat. And once again, this is Tatiana Bogema Stalova's drawing from her book, Vintage Classics 2, available on Amazon worldwide, and also in her Etsy shop. Um, hello, Katie, and yay, and everybody, welcome, Katie, and thank you, my dear. I really just sort of had popped on to show off some very, very cool Arteza gouache metallic watercolors or metallic gouache colors that I received a gift of. Um, Lovely subscriber sent these, and of course they come in the tubes. So, and aren't they pretty? They're so pretty. I'm trying to turn it to catch the light. Some of them are much more pearly than others, but they all have a lovely satiny, smooth, pearlescent sheen, and they're just so beautiful. And what gorgeous colors! These I mixed these colors out here, so just catching you up. Now you're caught up on the last hour. Okay, now I'm going to take a very, very light green. Oops. Go back to these. I'm going to take a very, very light green. Take the anise, the G902. G902. Whoever sees it first, yell out 902. There it is. Little audience participation there. No. And I'm going to put a base coat on this. This is so satisfying, by the way, to be able to use a chisel tip marker like this to lay down a base coat on everything. To me, it really helps to get me started, to be able to feel like I'm accomplishing a lot in a short period of time. You ever find that projects that take a really long time are much more difficult um, to to tackle than the ones that, or take a long time to show any progress, are harder to tackle. I like the ones that kind of make you feel like you're accomplishing something right out of the gate. That's why I said about cleaning the outside of the refrigerator the other day, and I was just so happy because it had been a while since I'd done it, and I didn't realize that it was kind of dusty, and um, because I smoke in the house, it had nicotine buildup on it, that kind of thing. And when you take a sponge to it with with something more than just the intent of wiping off something that splashed on it, it turns white, again. And to me, it's very satisfying because it makes me feel like I'm making great progress on cleaning if I can turn something white. Part of looking for my glasses is having to straighten up my house. So I guess that if you, I guess you could say that losing my glasses has served a purpose. I simply cannot imagine where they could be. And yet I know I had them. I know I had them with me when I walked back in the door. I'm going to find out that the cat has flipped them behind something while she was climbing on a refrigerator or a bookshelf or someplace else where she's not really supposed to. I caught her yesterday on the kitchen counter eating the chicken. Eating the chicken right out of the container. I bought a rotisserie chicken. It was on the counter. She actually pried the lid off because it comes in those plastic containers. Now, this is not behavior that is normal for her. She has never acted this way before. I do not know what is going on. Okay. Specs always tucked under something like keys, always at the bottom of the bag. Now, that is the one thing I have not done because I've never put them in my purse. But I have not looked in my purse all the way to the bottom. But I did try looking, yeah, naughty kitty. I'm telling you what, I was not a happy camper that she had gotten into that. On the other hand, I don't stay mad at her for longer than 15 seconds. So, okay, so now I want to do the dark spots. Oh, I want to do this guy in like a steel blue. So I want to use, I'm trying to think because I used, did I use the sky blue last time? I think I did, and I don't want to dry out. I love these markers. I don't want them to dry out. So we have the deep sky blue and the sky blue. So I'm going to go B20 or B003 and B225. So B 225 and B 003. Trying to remember what that one doesn't look like I think it looks. B003. Ah. There it is. Telling you what, if it was a snake, it might have jumped out and bit me. Oh yes, alcohol markers? Question mark. Yeah, these are the CaliArts. I was going to use Inktense on this. Pets, pets, and yes, and alcohol markers. Oh, I see. I don't know. I'm confused, Skilly. I'm confused. All right, so not that one. I want this one. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to come down here. And I'm just leaving the tips of these feathers uncolored for right now. See, and this is what I love about coloring with alcohol markers. Don't worry, we're going through the ugly stage right now. We'll emerge in the pretty stage, I promise. But you gotta make it ugly before it can be pretty. And I don't know what I did, Gilly, but you're welcome. I am easily confused these days. Yeah, these are the CaliArt markers. And so I mean, on the one hand, the poor cat, whatever she's going through, I certainly don't starve her, but I also, and I don't not give her people food. I just don't give her a lot of people food. And I like to control it, and I do not like a cat that will get on a kitchen counter like that. She's gone I've had her I adopted her when she was 6 years old, and I've had her for 6 years. So she is going on 12. And she's never, she's never done stuff like this. She's never, I finally broke her of getting up on my desk. And that didn't take that really didn't take very long. Just a few, here she jumps up and I put her down and tell her no and, let her know I'm unhappy with it. But this whole, getting up on the kitchen counter thing, she never did this. She never did stuff like that. And now suddenly she's doing it. And nothing really has changed. She's just pushing her boundaries. And every time I go into the kitchen, she is right there wanting something, wanting people food. I must have shared, and she'll eat anything, so I do share. I do, like she ate mango. She likes mango. I am at this point in time just sort of winging this, but it's all going to come around. It is all going to come around. This is the 003. This is the sky blue. So how about all of you? You know, Katie, that thought has actually occurred to me. That thought has occurred to me that it is because she has started to hang out in the kitchen, and you're right, it is a contact point for us. Um, and so that's where, that is, I do try and stop and pet her every time I go in the kitchen because she's hanging out on top of the refrigerator. So as I'm waiting for my coffee to, heat up or or I'm waiting on something to cook or something like that, I do have a tendency to pet her. Um, ah, that, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, I could see that where they, trying to get your attention and say hey, but but I am petting her many, many times during the day because I, of course, drink a lot of coffee, and I go into to catch the, uh, to catch whatever it is, the coffee, the grabbing, a quick bite to eat. But I do spend almost all day at my desk. There is no doubt about that. And she's never been the kind of, she never wanted to sleep with me. She apparently I'm too restless for her. So so as you can see, all I'm doing is just picking out the places where Tatiana has put in shading. And I think where a lot of people uh, run into issues with coloring with markers, especially as they want to solid color everything. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to get effect. You can use just light shades over dark shades and get a very interesting effect. Uh, and in this particular case, Tatiana is so talented that she manages to not only give you the effect of her drawing, but also, how to shade it. And all you really have to do is follow her examples. Now I am going to switch down. Now this is the lighter of my two blues. So I am going to be going over these areas again with the darker blues. But just using her little tiny strokes gives this really, cool effect. Now this is not the final color for this area here, but it's it's a good start to have marked it out. Cats seem to think undivided, limitless attention is their due until they're done with you. And that also is true. Fortunately, that attention is always short-lived. She does not like to be held at all. Uh, I mean, you can pick her up and transport her from room to room, and you can give her a quick cuddle, but she wants down almost immediately. So, okay, so now I can go in with a slightly darker shade here. Also, I love coloring with markers because they're so quick. I love that about them. If Anne watches this back, and even Melinda also knows this, I resisted markers for a long time. Oh no, I would not like markers. What I was really doing is I was resisting the fact that I knew I would love them, and I didn't want to fall out of love with my ink tints, which actually hasn't happened, but I surely do appreciate what you can do with alcohol markers. So what's everybody, yeah, those of you who are not sneakily watching at work, what are you coloring? Are you working on anything? Are you joining me for my color along? Or not this one, but holy cow. Hang on, I'm throwing things around back here. Didn't I mention that that's how, oh, hey, an X-Acto knife. That's really got no business being there. Okay, where I can pick it up with my hands. Um, or are you working on this? I am loving this. I even used it. I even put the pearl in. Um, I can hardly. I'm gonna film that later tonight. The next one. You're working on a mandala right now. Markers on a mandala and work, but I got the color on a postcard. Oh, good. Okay. It's always a good day if you can find a little time to color, no matter what time of day it is. Guessing early morning, the house was quiet, kids weren't up yet, or the worker bees weren't up yet. That sort of golden hour when it's just you and your first cup of coffee. Actually, I'm putting in fine details when I should be working on. But so I will keep going with that, but you kind of get the idea. And let's choose some colors for some leaves. So I know I definitely want the 606 Bud Green because, well, maybe not. I know I want the A25 Pettus Pole 825. The G825 is that one. I like the olivine, so the G743, that is a darker one right there. So we're going to go with those two for right now. These are just standard greens. I am, I'm not overthinking the colors here. I'm just going with greens, good greens. So I'm going to come up with this. Not super far, but just a little. Once again, I'm going to use the area that she has provided for highlight. Maybe messing this one up. Okay, let me go back to the 902. And then I can go back to, this is the G743. So I just want to see. On this one that's a little obscure. Okay, back to the green. I'll just sort of close up that space. And to the lighter green. What I want to do is that's not turning out exactly how I wanted to. So I'm just trying to use a lighter shade. To blend that in. Now, I am on cardstock, and as you can see, it does sort of go through, and I am working directly on my desk mat. So, but that's a little better, yeah, the way that worked out. Okay. All right, it looks like I Never mind. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like the way that that one turned out. I can't believe I actually pulled that off in the end. Okay. I have actually been on an hour and 30 minutes, which really does put me into somebody else's time. Now, I did see that that Laura Rafferty just came on, so but I also know that she's live a lot, and oh, bye, Louise. Say hi to Laura. uh, but at any rate, so I can now say that I at least started this with markers. I will finish it, and I will be back again with the next part of the color along. So I do think that I'm going to wrap it up for today. I wasn't really supposed to be on anyway. Thank you to everybody who has come. Thank you for all those thumbs up. I do appreciate it. And 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 I will read all of the comments. And thank you for joining me. And thank you again, R, for your wonderful gifts. Um, and this latest one is just absolutely incredible. While I'm here, I do want to say a huge, absolute shout out to the dear Melody, and she knows why. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here, and bye, everybody. Until we meet again, color something pretty.